It all started with a rusty old sedan pulled up to the edge of a small-town auto shop. The hood was popped, steam rose into the cool morning air, and a single father named Daniel wiped his hands on a rag, sighing. Life hadn't been easy for him. Ever since his wife passed away, Daniel had been raising his little girl, Emily, all on his own. Money was always tight, and so was time, but no matter how tired he was, Daniel never stopped working to make sure Emily had food on the table and a smile on her face. That morning, though, fate had a surprise waiting for him. A young woman parked across the street and slowly walked toward the shop. Her name was Sarah. Her car had broken down on the highway, and after a long, frustrating wait for a tow truck, she had been directed here. She looked hesitant, holding her purse close, and when she spoke, her voice was nervous. "Sir, my car broke down. I don't have much money. Could you maybe just take a look?" Daniel studied her face, noticing the exhaustion in her eyes, but also something deeper, maybe a story she wasn't telling. He nodded without a word and set to work. As Daniel worked beneath the hood, Emily peeked out from behind the counter where she had been coloring. She was shy around strangers but couldn't stop staring at Sarah. Something about the woman felt familiar, though Emily didn't understand why. She tiptoed closer, tugging at Sarah's dress with her little hand. In the softest whisper, almost like a secret, she said, "She's my mom, please marry her." Sarah froze, eyes wide, as her heart skipped a beat. She looked down at the little girl, confused and touched at the same time. Daniel hadn't heard the words, but Sarah had, and her heart melted instantly. The repair took hours. The car was old, the parts rusty, and Daniel could tell Sarah hadn't had an easy road in life either. When he was done, Sarah nervously asked, "How much do I owe you?" Daniel shook his head. "Don't worry about it. It's on me." She tried to insist, but he smiled. "Sometimes people just need a break. Consider it paid forward." That kindness struck Sarah deeply, because she had been struggling too. She had no family nearby, no one to lean on, and for the first time in years, someone had helped her without expecting anything in return. Over the next weeks, Sarah returned to check on the car, bringing cookies or small gifts to thank Daniel and Emily. Emily quickly grew attached, running into Sarah's arms every time she visited. Daniel noticed it, too, the way his daughter glowed with joy whenever Sarah was near. And Sarah, despite the shadows in her past, found herself laughing again, feeling warmth she hadn't felt in years. Slowly, walls began to fall. Daniel told her about losing his wife, and Sarah opened up about the hardships she faced alone. Two broken lives began to mend, piece by piece, like a car rebuilt from rust to shine. One evening, as they shared dinner together, Emily climbed onto Sarah's lap and whispered again, this time loud enough for Daniel to hear, "She's my mom. Please marry her." The room went silent. Daniel's eyes welled up, torn between surprise and fear of moving on. But Sarah reached across the table, her hand covering his, and said softly, "Maybe Emily's right. Maybe we were meant to find each other." Daniel couldn't hold back the tears. After years of carrying the weight of the world alone, he realized it was okay to let someone else in. Time passed, and love blossomed. Sarah became part of their daily lives, school runs, bedtime stories, quiet evenings filled with laughter. Emily no longer whispered her wish, she shouted it proudly, "That's my mom." Eventually, Daniel and Sarah stood under a simple arch in the park, surrounded by friends, as Emily clapped her hands with joy. The single dad who once thought his life was over had found not just a partner, but a family reborn, and the message was clear: sometimes love arrives when you least expect it, often in the form of kindness freely given. One act of generosity can change not only a broken car but also a broken heart, and with courage to open up again, new beginnings are always possible.